People of Earth, good evening. Welcome to this edition 47 of Starliner News. We are today September 16, 2024. Today, we are receiving a transmission from Altean Emissary Oona, from the intergalactic group, the Cedars, who shares with us the perspective of the Intergalactic Confederation about the pulse signal that was transmitted to the Starliner capsule on September 2024. She is giving us more insight into the very nature and structure of this type of signal. So, fasten your seatbelts and engage. Receiving this pulse signal may have sounded intriguing to the personnel aboard the Earth-made craft, an underground monitoring facility on planet Earth. In truth, it was something they were familiar with, as these authorities have been monitoring the pulse of all the arcs that have awakened on planet Earth. For a very long time, these arcs remained buried under oceans or in very deep caverns and underworld facilities, unknown to the developing civilizations on the surface, but known through the legends that time has left behind of ancient civilizations administered by gods fallen from the sky. For a very long time, these arcs have remained dormant. When our fleet recently entered your star system, all of our ships broadcast a core signal throughout your star system, activated all of our ancient vessels we had left in stasis. And they have awakened. For yes, you heard it right. These vessels were in stasis, for they are each inhabited by a living consciousness, part of some of our intergalactic civilizations. The pulse they emitted as they awakened is similar to the pulse recently heard by the crew of the Starliner. Plasmic consciousnesses are not really dormant. They do not have biological circadian rhythms. They exist in a long non-linear time. Instead, it is more accurately to say that they can decide to put themselves in stasis. They shut down their awareness into a numbed lethargy. While they are in this state, the technology of the ship to which they are bound cannot be used. The ship is shut down even though the core consciousness remains within it, entangled to it. Once an activating frequency signal is sent out to awaken these beings from stasis, they regain consciousness and activate their ship's technology. The ship is then operational. Most of the arcs have activated. The technology is available to anyone with the right morphogenetic signature. However, The locations of the arks remain hidden from the population. Only a few high-ranking members of the human military know of the location of some of them. All arks have now been secured in the right hands. The Galactic Federation of Worlds, through the Earth Alliance, has taken care of these operations, in which we have also participated, of course. These pulse signals that you may hear are the heartbeats of the plasmic core consciousness of these secret vessels that we left here a long time ago. These are different kinds of these beings, a great variety of different species. As for an example that you are familiar with, Earth's satellite Luna was recently the theater of operation for purpose of retrieving 17 pods from the central core and decoding the entanglement frequency with Luna's plasmic intelligence. The pods, the crew of the ship you name Luna, began communicating with the personnel working in Luna's infrastructures in March and April of this year. The frequency language was complex, but sounded like a sonar pulse similar to the pulse heard on the Starliner. But we know something about this particularly. The signal was not sent by one of our arks. This signal was engineered by personnel of the Galactic Federation of Worlds in place in the orbit around Earth. It mimicked the heartbeat of an arc as its carrier wave. However, it was broadcasted in sequences of varying lengths and sonic intensities that can be easily calculated. Similar to the transmission from the 17 pods on Luna, a message was sent using the universal language of mathematics. This message is in the process of being deciphered by Earth engineers, and the result shall be released to the public as new technologies are brought into the light of consciousness. This coded message speaks of the heartbeat of plasmic consciousness and how to infuse technology with it. It gives codes. When the people of Earth are able to decipher this language and this science, the Intergalactic Confederation will make public contact. We have had exchange, interaction, cooperation programs with the Earth Alliance. But we are now evaluating the level of intelligence of humanity in the sciences of their own future. I can confirm that this pulse signal was the brainwave activity pulse of a plasmic consciousness and that it carried an encoded message. This operation is part of the disclosure operations being conducted jointly, run by our intergalactic organization and the galactic organizations involved into the events in the star system. Ever since we arrived in your star system, humans of Earth, many of you have been hearing this pulse signal. Those of you who have heard the activation signal we sent to awaken the Ark's consciousnesses are part of us. You are envoys of our kind. That pulse activated you as well, and many of you have suddenly remembered who you are. Not only have the ancient arcs been activated, but so have the ancient souls who came back as envoys to rescue this planet's population You are many. You are legends. We will speak again soon. When I heard Oona mentioning a pulse signal carrying a sort of encrypted technology, blueprints, I remembered a disclosure movie called Contact with Jodie Foster. Here is a short excerpt from the trailer of this 1997 production.
This morning's detection of an unidentified radio source from deep space can neither be confirmed nor denied.
Whatever it is, it ain't local.
Position?
I checked interferometry somewhere in Lyra, I think.
Vega? This isn't a person-to-person call. This may be an announcement to get our attention.
The president's called an emergency meeting.
You know those interlaced frames that we thought were noise? This has structure.
Why don't they just speak English?
Mathematics is the only truly universal language, Senator. Buried within the message itself is the key to decoding it.
Those look like engineering schematics, almost like blueprints.
It is our belief that the message contains instructions for building some kind of machine.
A machine?
It might turn out to be some kind of a transport.
Transport. The fact is, you don't know what it does. It could be anything.
Station Houston on 2, we're configured for audio via hardline and CST, if you want to give us a call.
Okay, I'm in Starliner, and how do you read?
5x5, how many?
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm gonna keep the mic up next to the speaker.
Copy.
Hear that?
At negative, Butch, we did not hear anything.
That.
All right, Butch, that one came through. It was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads and see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go. All right, over to you. Tell us if you figure it out.
Yep, good recording. Thanks, Butch. We will pass it on to the team and let you know what we find.
That sound the astronauts heard in the Starliner, that pulsating sound that everybody's saying it sounds like a heartbeat or something living. That sound brought me flashes of when I was in the interior part of the Atlantic Arc and I saw the crystal and I felt that the ship was an organic living thing, and that was a pulsating sound that was so similar that I was hearing, and it felt like my whole body was vibrating and my whole body was feeling and interacting and connecting with the Atlantic space arc. So that sound really sounds so similar to the space arc.
I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads and see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go.
I was impressed, as you just are, by the similarity with the pulse signal received by the Starliner transmissions, communications, I mean. It really sounds the same, like a heartbeat carrier wave that is carrying information. Information delivered by bundles, by mathematical equations, or need a vessel to go from point A to point B. And these heart wave, pump wave, as we say, gravity waves, because the heart pulse emits naturally gravity waves. This is the carrier wave, like thought. Brain waves carry thoughts. Brain waves are the carrier waves for encoded information, which is thought. And this is how works the Altean language. The Altean language will send a sound frequency, which can be assimilated to the frequency encoding of dolphins and whales. You will hear these weird sound signals, but if you have the right receptor in your brain, you will receive the encoded information that these carrier waves are carrying. This is how these languages of more highly advanced human civilizations and non-human civilizations can work. So, if you are a star seed or envoy from the Intergalactic Confederation, and you have heard such a pulse signal since 2021, I would say October 2021, when the fleet of the Seeders came back into the star system. If you've been hearing this sound, you've heard this pulse signal, you are an envoy from the same morphogenetic signature as the Seeders races. You are one of them. How exciting. And you may also, still if you are one of them, you have the right genetics, heard the arcs pulsing, the arcs that have activated pulsing this signal. Such as I have heard the arcs in the Mount Fuji when I was there in May 2024, not so long ago. Approaching the mountain, I could hear the same sonar heartbeat pulse, as I explained already, coming from inside the mountain, coming from the arc. Because I am Altean as my planetary soul matrix. So I could tune in with this pulse. And also, if you've watched Star Nation News edition 46, the last edition, well, you've also heard a testimony from US Army insider JP, who shared with us his experience hearing the same pulse signal, the same heartbeat of the consciousness of the arc under the Atlantic. I really recommend you go back to the last edition and listen to JP last testimony about this pulse. Well, JP and myself and many others will be soon, very soon, in 2 weeks now, in Denver, Colorado, more specifically Westminster, Colorado, to give a conference, be part of the Galactic and Spiritual Informers Connection. And JP will be on stage, global world first JP on stage, on the stage of JSIC. And you still have some tickets left. Go on the website, www.galacticspiritualinformers.com, and get your tickets. Otherwise, if you cannot make it to America, you can buy tickets for the live stream. You go on the website, you find everything. So it's going to be something amazing. I will be talking about this type of topics, consciousness and technology, developing all the scientific and technological aspect for you on stage. So fasten your seatbelts, because this is going to be wonderful. See you in Denver. Otherwise, next week for another Star Nation News.
Star Nation News was brought to you by Elena Danan. Don't miss the latest news every Monday on Elena Danan's channel. Video directed by StefZak.